Now, kooky Kanye is, here's my honest review, and this is going to rattle people. He's never been crazier, in my opinion. And I sort of feel like, here, some people aren't going to like this, I've had nothing bad to say about the man ever. I can't say this. I think I know what people felt like when he started doing the Trump stuff. Remember, I was like, why would they fucking care? That betrayal, right? I almost understand what they mean because Kanye West for now, he's in one of his kooky Kanye phases. Kanye West is a born-again Jesus freak now.
Everybody sit down, listen carefully. Everybody sit down, please. It's story time.
Yes.
Story time.
Yes. Okay. It's a very chilling song there. That didn't wake me up at all. Very chilling. Welcome to Redbar. So on a quick story time, and then we'll get into the harassment portion of the show. Okay, I know a lot of people tune in for that. So on, what was this, on Saturday? They said, there's going to be a Chicago listening party. Kanye's going to be there. They're going to play the album. They're going to show you some clips,
But the only word was from Kim's story so far.
So no one had a location. No one knew how to get tickets. The only way you could figure this stuff out was to follow Kanye Reddit stuff. So we were downtown anyway. We were coat shopping, getting some new coats. We were getting Jules her new winter wardrobe.
Well, don't say that because I didn't do that great of a job.
We were getting Jules her new winter wardrobe, which I hate doing,
Well.
And I ended up getting more stuff than her on our shopping trip, which I got a better coat than you.
You always get more stuff than me.
I always get more stuff. So we're refreshing as we're walking. It was about 4:00 p.m. when we heard, tickets are going on sale at 5:30 Eastern on Ticketmaster for this Kanye listening party. They're free tickets, but you got to go on Ticketmaster to see if you can get them. And we're like, we're never going to get them. So we're walking around, and the time comes, and I said, let's run into this Omni Hotel. We're right on Michigan Avenue. I said, let's run into the Omni Hotel, sit down, relax, and we get in there. We get on Ticketmaster. We get into, she's on her phone. I'm on mine. We're refreshing. I get into the waiting room. I think you got into the waiting room too. Yeah, there's this Ticketmaster waiting room, and it says you are in line.
And there's a countdown clock.
Yeah, there's a countdown. So when the tickets go live, you're in line. And we're like, oh boy, and then I got into the waiting room. It said there are 500 people in front of you. And I didn't know how big this theater was at the time. It was just some movie theater. Some opera house, right? And it said you were 500 in line. I'm like, uh-oh. And you're watching it go down. Jules' try was miserable. She was 200 plus. 2,000 plus people in front of her. So she had, and it didn't even work. Hers didn't have a chance. Lo and behold, I got the tickets. Yes, I won.
I couldn't fucking believe it.
The tickets are yours.
I've never had such a lucky moment.
And we were downtown with all our bags. We had maybe about 2 hours before doors opened. And by the way, that's how it worked for everybody. Everybody had a 2-hour notice to get downtown Chicago and get to this thing. Probably half of the people who got these tickets, they don't even live in the United States, or they don't even live in Chicago.
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't know. I was always confused. It's like you're giving away free tickets. There's a limited number, but all of America, maybe even all of the world, anybody who likes Kanye. If I was a 15-year-old kid, I'd be like, let me see if I could get these tickets.
Yeah, they were all free, by the way.
And they're non-transferable, so people could eat them all up. We were afraid people were going to eat them all up, but...
Well, you know why you did get the tickets? Because you did a good deed that day.
I did do a good deed. Do you want to hear about my good deed?
It's part of the story.
Here we go. This is a lot of story talking, okay, at the beginning of the show. I don't know if people are sick
want to hear the story.
They
said
do.
They wanted to hear it.
They want to hear it. I always feel like, people just want to see the video. I'm just here as a video player. I don't think people really care about what I'm saying.
They want to hear
They just want me to press play and be quiet. So, I did help out a kid, Indiana Jones style.
Yes.
I am basically Indiana Jones, and I didn't know this about myself, but I found this out. That was a good cup of coffee. I didn't know that I was Indiana Jones. We were at the train, like the subway, and there was a kid in front of us, and he couldn't get a ticket. He was out of money.
He said,
little
do
kid.
you have $1?
Do you have $1, miss? And we go, fuck you. Get out of here. And we saw that he couldn't get his ticket, right? So then he leaves, and you could see he's a miserable mess. Young little kid. How old was he? 13?
Like 12?
12, 13? Young little kid, and he's sitting there with his head down. He doesn't. And I go, hey, kid, need a ticket? And he lights up. And I get him the ticket. But I said it kind of just like Dr. Jones. Hey, kid, need a ticket? I felt
It
like
was
Indiana Jones.
cinematic.
It was cinematic. And I had a beard. I never felt older. He was all scared of me. I could scare kids now. I didn't realize that. I used to be a kid. But now I could go up to kids and go, hey, kids, beat it. And they all listen. They all scram. Unless they were a little bit older, in which case they pick on me still. But this kid
13 and
loved
under.
it. And he goes, oh, thank you, thank you. And he ran on the train. And I think, maybe my good deed.
Gave you some good
By the
karma.
way, I do negative good deeds. I mean, I hate doing good. I haven't done a good deed in
We're
16
basically
years.
cursed. Our karma is so bad.
So I wonder if one good deed a day does get you I mean, how could it? This is in India, for God's sakes. But it did work out. We got those tickets to the Kanye listening party. One of 2,000 people that was able to see
It
this
was very
here in
lucky
Chicago.
that we got the
and
tickets.
nobody has heard the album here except for the people in Detroit at the listening party, which was very small, the Chicago and the New York. So this was very exciting to us, and Kanye's going to be there, and Kimmy's going to be there, and it is kind of exciting. You go, okay, it's your favorite artiste, right? Your favorite musician. When do you ever get to listen to an unreleased album with your favorite
pretty
musician
much a once in a
the
lifetime.
room?
I'm still processing it a little bit. It
Pretty
was,
unique situation. Okay, so we run home. Remember, we had all these shopping bags, new coats. We can't bring these shopping bags to the event, certainly. So we rush home. We get in a car. We do our hair. We rush back. We get in line. We're very lucky again. We get in line. We're only about 200 deep in line. 200
Way
deep in
close
line
to the
because it's
front.
first come, first serve seating. So everybody who gets a ticket gets in, but it's first come, first serve seating. So we're very lucky we get in line only 200 deep. Again, because it was such short notice. I almost like this. I wish everybody did their concert like this. 2 hours before the concert starts, you just announce it and sell tickets, and the true fans figure it out and they go. That would be nice.
And the lineup was really nice. Everybody was a huge Kanye fan, and everyone was chit-chatting
Wow.
about their favorite Kanye
I
albums
was
and being
a
all nice and
little
cute.
annoyed. A lot of fucking geeks at this thing, man. Kanye attracts. So the average Kanye listener is a fucking nerd. There were 2 black guys there. They were nerds. And the rest were these half-Asian pipsqueak fucking geeks. Everyone there had glasses. Everyone there had tour merch on. Everyone there was a gilding queen. Everybody was a geek. But you know what's so funny? Every time I'm in a Kanye line, and I've been in many of them now, everyone is so nice and happy.
Yeah.
And you become, I hate this, line mates.
I became line mates with some guys.
I like limeade. I hate being a line mate, because it takes me a while to break in. This is me in the line. People start talking. They want to talk to everybody, who's in front of them and behind them. And then I start going like this.
Well, that's why you have me. I do all the
If you
talking.
only knew. But they actually loved me. 6 people loved me. And it really opened my eyes out. I go, wow, the public doesn't hate me. They
No.
just don't know me. They loved me. We had a guy come up to the line. The line was great. We were out there for about 3 hours in that line, right?
Yes. It was
So,
very
of course,
cold.
typical Kanye fashion, the doors were supposed to open at 7:30. I don't think they opened till 9. We got there at what?
Like 7.
7. So, okay, 2 hours. And we're sitting in the line. It was pretty cold, but it was pretty fun. Lots of people coming up. We had a German, we're on Michigan Avenue. We're in the heart of the city. So it's tourist, Saturday night, tourists everywhere. We had an old German woman come up to us, and I've never seen anything like this. An old German woman and her husband. And a lot of people were coming up to us asking what the line was for. And I thought it was really cool because imagine you're walking down this city street and you go, hey, what's this line for? And then someone turns to you and goes, Kanye West. Yeah, America's Kanye West is here. And really, everybody you told was like, Kanye? Why is Kanye here? This is incredible. So then we started messing with the people. We started telling them other things.
But it was a white supremacist
Yeah. Hey, what's this
rally.
line for? Yeah, like a Trump white supremacist thing. You probably should scram. And then these two Germans came and they go, and they were really speaking German. And I guess translation, what is this line for? And I immediately screamed. I go, lady, I just watched Midsummer. There's no fucking way I'm getting involved with you. Scram. And she was like, and I go, what are you doing? And she sat there for 2 minutes and literally had a full conversation with me in German. I've never seen anything like this.
We spoke German and we had to understand her.
I've never seen anything like it. A woman fully, and she was a regular looking woman with her husband. I mean, they were an elderly couple, but she just assumed we all spoke German. I told her to get the hell out of here.
Oh, there was a guy who was handing out his QR codes for his mixtape, and then Mike asked him to sing a little bit of the song.
I finally got to do, and Jules said this too. Ever since American Idol came out, I've been dying to sit in Simon Cowell's shoes and yell at somebody for their, awful singing. You've seen it here on the show. I love asking people to sing. And then I say, enough! Stop! That was terrible. Hire a lawyer. Sue your singing coach. Stuff like that. I love that. I get a big kick out of that. And I finally got to do it in person. It killed. All right? This was great. This big fat guy comes up and he's soliciting his mixtape or his Spotify music to the whole line. And he's handing out these business cards with a QR code. I go, come here, young man. And big fat fuck, too. Big fat Samoan guy. And I go, what kind of music do you do? Because we're all having fun, line mates. And he goes, it's R&B, like soulful R&B. I go, I would love to hear some. I'd love to hear some. And he goes, right now? And I go, yeah, if you don't mind. And he goes, ooh, child, that I was having about to ooh. Something like that, right? I mean, it was very like R&B, very low. And in the middle of it, I actually got to do this thing where I go, stop! Enough! And I didn't really have a follow-up line to it. He was pretty shook, and I go, it was great. It was great. It was great.
But that's the moment that you knew you loved the line mates because everybody burst out laughing.
The line mates loved it. They had never seen anything like it. And it was great. We met with some heads. Some heads were there, very nice heads. I don't think they want me to say their names. I don't think they want to be exposed. Ever since they saw what happened to Kevin Fergakis, the guy who...
They didn't want to be the new K Frag.
Yeah. Of course, there's this other listener, Kevin Fergakis. Every Kanye event we're at, he shows up. And not only does he show up, I'll be standing there and I'll go, Jules, is somebody... I feel eyes on my back. And she goes... I don't know. And I look around. It's him. He's right there. He's right there. It's Kevin. And I go, how long has he been staring at the back of my head? So I tell that story a lot. And if you've been listening to the show, you've heard that story before. So these guys, like people, I think this guy knew I was coming. I was alluding to it in the Bring Back group. I said something, and I think he knew we were going and he didn't want to intrude. So people are very afraid to intrude now, and you don't have to be. Of course, I need to see your Facebook profile. I need to see your pics. I looked over this guy's pic. He was a great guy, and he was a great friend.
So we reached out to him and said, come in the line.
You know what? I said, I saw that he was going to in the Bring Back group. I'm not going to say who he was. I messaged him. I said, you know what? We got a killer spot in this line. Imagine that. You're ahead. You got tickets to see Kanye. And then also another idol of yours, Mike from Redbar, is messaging you going, hey, we're 200 in line. If you want to cut, feel free to cut.
Pretty much
Mike,
a double score.
We would not want it. Imagine this guy's fucking night, right? Kanye and me in the same night. Holy. So his night was made. He brought a friend. I think The friend, was really impressed with me as well.
Oh,
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Come on. Could you imagine? As if you didn't say Jesus Christ, I would have kept going with it. Please. I'm embarrassed to hear that. But they were great guys. They bought us 2 rounds of drinks.
Oh, they were the best. I had an amazing time with
We
those
even
two.
sat next to them, too. We have a video that we're going to show you that they
even
filmed.
waited to save them seats beside us. That's how nice we are.
Somebody says, I just got here. How far into the show are we? Man, you got to rewind. You got to hear this. You're missing the best parts. I'd like to invest in an app, someone says. Whoa!
So all in all, the line was actually great.
Okay, the line.
You didn't have to worry about the line mates.
We're
it
in the
turned out
line,
amazing.
too, and everybody starts screaming. It was Kimmy. She was running into the venue. So they finally opened the doors, and we're all getting in. We couldn't believe it. It was a beautiful theater, and everybody there was very kind. All the people working there, except they did the thing where they go, you got to put your cell phone in the bag. Okay? And remember what I said? I said I would never, ever put my cell phone in the bag. Remember Joe Rogan did this thing where they lock up your phone so that you could have no phones. Well, for this, I said, okay. All right. And I did it. And they hand out these cloth bags with like a lock. And they give you the bag. You put your phone in the bag, and then you're responsible for this locked bag. You can't get your phone out of it. Okay. Now, people did. You could just cut them open. Here's the thing. They're just cloth bags. Bring a little knife. You could cut it open. Here's another trick. Bring a second phone. Or tell them you don't have a phone.
Because they didn't even search
There's
us.
no
You
metal-
could have brought a gun in that place.
I was going, do they have like a metal detector or something so they see all your stuff? But then I'm going, what concert would have a metal detector where you need to take out every piece of metal? It would take forever. Belt buckles, earrings, all that stuff.
I mean,
it's not the airport.
I feel like most concerts I've ever been to search you way harder than we got searched.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
normally
of course,
they pat
but
you
they
down
don't
and
have-
at least look in your bag. Like I could have had
Yeah.
a bag full of recording equipment and weapons.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even look at it.
So
in it.
you could easily, if you go to one of these events and they're like, no phones, this is what I suggest. First of all, try I don't use a phone. Oh, phones are for, Try that. Or bring a second phone. Bring a fake phone, I'm going to go buy just I have an old phone. I'll just give them my old phone.
Yeah, we got new phones.
Give them my old phone. And, or you could just be mic'd up. Your whole chest could be, microphones, recording equipment. You could be lined up with it. But a lot of people did cut these out. You could cut them right out. And that's what the heads next to us did. And we happened to get this really nice video that we're going to show you in a second, proving that we were there. He just ripped it open. Okay, you could rip it open. And he was trying to get it open there. And it was at the end of the show. Everybody waited to the end. That's why if you see any of the videos posted online, they're mostly from the same part of the
last
night.
Song.
Because nobody wanted to get caught. If you got caught with your phone, you were out of there immediately. They would kick you out. So, but at the end, when Kanye said, okay, did the last song, everybody was trying it, and you could see everybody down there like this, and he just rips it out. And I was going, aren't you afraid it's going to spray you with ink? Don't mess with that thing. You don't know what that thing will do. It could set off, the fire alarm here. So he ripped it open. He ended up getting a beautiful shot. So we get into the venue, and it's, what was it, like another 2-hour wait while we sat there?
It wasn't that
long. We hear this. So we're all sitting in our seats. Beautiful venue, by the way. Gorgeous. The lighting was perfect. It was this big, probably like a 3,700 seat opera house style theater, like a movie theater, but you could see like they would have like an orchestra play there, right? You could see that, something like that happening.
Yeah.
Right? A small orchestra.
Balconies up to the
They
sky.
had beautiful balconies, and then all of a sudden we hear Kanye West's daughter come on the microphone.
Some people were saying it was Saint. I couldn't tell.
Well, it sounded like a fucking chick, and it was definitely a black chick, and she goes, are you guys ready for my daddy? Right? Something like that.
Are you ready for my dad?
Are you ready for my dad? And everyone went nuts. Not me. I'm sitting there like this.
No,
I
you
don't
went
cheer.
nuts.
No,
You
I
cheered.
don't cheer in crowds. I sit there like this. Are you ready for my dad? And we're like, yeah. And then she goes, are you ready for Kim? And everyone's like, yes. And then they come out, and Kanye comes out, and they come like on the side, not on the stage of the theater. They come on like the side. There's these little balcony things, but we're probably like, there's no bad seat in the house. I mean, everybody could see, you're staring Kanye in the face, sitting there. And Kanye comes out. He's got a vest on, a nice puffy vest.
Really cute. He had some Janes on.
Yep. Kim comes out. The little black kids come out. They're all waving to everybody.
I didn't get to see her butt really, but she had beautiful mermaid hair.
Yeah. Now, kooky Kanye is, here's my honest review, and this is going to rattle people. He's never been crazier, in my opinion. And I sort of feel like, here, some people aren't going to like this. I've had nothing bad to say about the man ever. I can't say this. I think I know what people felt like when he started doing the Trump stuff. Remember, I was like, why would they fucking care? That betrayal, right? I almost understand what they mean, because Kanye West for now, he's in one of his kooky Kanye phases. Kanye West is a born-again Jesus freak now. And this is not a joke. He is fully convinced himself.
Once you see him say this stuff in person, looking right in his eyes, it becomes more real.
Yes. And Kanye West has given up his soul and personality and traded it in as a man of God. He is a worshiper now. He is a follower of God. This was a themed album. And it's very strange because, he always goes through phases and usually you're on board. This is the first time where he's onto something that I have absolutely no interest in. You'll never catch me going, hallelujah, 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 oh, Jesus, I hate Jesus. And I don't want to get into that today. I don't want to make this too brutal, but I hate Jesus. I always have hated Jesus. I do not carry that. And it's almost like, I talked about this when like Kendrick Lamar was putting out like To Pimp a Butterfly and everybody was like, oh, it's so fantastic. Well, yes, it's good. But if I can't relate to it in any sense of the way, I can't sing along. I can't enjoy this stuff. So I'll talk about the album, but I will say this. I cannot and can never relate to Jesus-y stuff, even if it's metaphor. This is not metaphor. This is not simile. Kanye is preaching old, traditional. He is a cover artist at this point, in my opinion. This is a cover of the gospel. Okay? I'm afraid to look at the chat.
No, people are saying they're glad you're saying
this. Okay. I am not on board for this one. Now, musically, I will say this. Love it. Love it musically.
So you're talking only lyrically.
Lyrically, I don't even know if I'll be able... I walk around the house, I sing every Kanye West song. I love them, and I relate to them in a way. You can't relate to this because it's really not Kanye's story. It's... the church's story.
Now, this is from only hearing it one time, and it was literally the loudest bass I've ever heard in my life, so we couldn't really hear every lyric. So this is just off of what you heard.
And really, it wasn't even the album. If I just heard the album, I would be fine. It was Kanye's speeches that really set me off. I actually had a reaction like I've never had before. To one of his speeches, which nobody has a recording of. We have a recording of one of his prayers that I'm going to play you here in a second. He started the show off with a prayer, but he did give a speech rant in the middle of playing the album. And everybody was on board, and I was actually sitting there going, what the fuck? No. I almost yelled, you're wrong! You're wrong! What are you doing? You don't need to do this!
He said that he regretted calling himself Yeezus.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna hold on. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But yes, and I I think what I think he's doing, and I'll tell you the full story, but to cut to the chase, I think that he took all that heat, he took all that smoke, and I think that people, when they feel cornered, when they feel attacked, it's like when people go to jail, they turn to Jesus. Everything's Jesus. It's almost, it makes it like, it's like a protection. It's like what people do when they're really, really scared is, oh, I'm a man of Jesus. I'm a man of Jesus. Because how could you hate a man of Jesus? You can't really say anything bad. And I never expected that from Kanye. I still don't expect it. But Kanye is surrounded by people who I can't imagine the conversations that he has with people. I can't imagine him actually having any sort of meaningful or talking to anybody who gets him. So I think that he has escaped to this Jesus thing. And again, I like Kanye for his futuristic stuff. And maybe there's some of that in here, futurist stuff. But this is, to me, a setback. This is going back. Here's the Jesus stuff that you've heard all your life that you didn't agree with. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's focusing on how he doesn't want to focus everything around his own ego anymore, and he wants to focus on everybody being together instead of just
course,
himself.
But I feel like there's a way you could do that. I wish he could do that in his way and not the Jesus way, which I cannot and will not ever subscribe to. I'm like, sickened by how many people are even defending Jesus lately these days and going back to this whole Jesus thing. Come on, man. What are you so scared of? So he opens the thing. What did he do first? What was his first thing? He did the prayer. Was the prayer the first thing?
Yes.
That he did?
And I think there's a
video
video
of that. So he does a prayer, and we're going to play the video of it. Somebody did get quick video of it, and it's cut off, but you'll get the gist. He was very serious about this prayer, and this is where I knew things were bad. He had this attitude where he has changed into the Jesus guy, and there's no room for laughing. There's no room for jokes anymore. He is a very serious man of God, and if you're not there with him, get the hell out of the room. That was his attitude. Very kooky, very manic. And he got up there and he wanted to start with a prayer, and everybody's cheering and yelling during the prayer. And he says this, and you'll hear it coming up. And when I hear it back, it does sound like he's having a good time. But when I was there, I felt, completely the opposite.
Oh, see, I didn't think at the prayer part, I still was like, thought he was.
He wanted everyone to bow their heads and pray in silence, which I refused to do. And people started cheering during the middle of the prayer. And he says, that's the first time I ever heard cheering during a prayer before. Now, and then everybody laughed. And cute. He took that laugh and he liked it, but he was mad. I believe he was making it very clear this is not a game. And when I tell you about the speech he gave, it's more apparent that he is not here for jokes anymore. Listen to this. I know you're shocked. Most people, and listen, all the Kanye stans and all those fan pages, they're not going to give you this side of the story. Okay? People are afraid. People are afraid, and especially big-time Kanye fans are even afraid to admit stuff like this to themselves because they think that it tarnishes.
I'm afraid to admit it to myself.
But, they're big fans of this guy, and they have been for years, so they're going, it was great. I love Jesus now. And, I'm not even a fan of this Sunday service mumbo-jumbo. I liked it at first because you got to see Kanye doing arrangements of some of his old songs, but I do not want to see black people singing psalms, hymns for hours. Hallelujah to what? They look like soulless people who have given everything to this. Stop it. I'm not about that. I want to make that perfectly clear. So I've always watched, going, haha, I hope he gets over this. But he has not. I mean, he is a preacher man.
Now, what say you about this? What if you're just watching Kanye go on his journey as an artist, and even if you don't agree with everything he's saying, it's still his journey.
Yes, and that's what I've learned to respect right now, and that's where I'm at right now. So I'm not hating on any of this. I will see it through, but I am going to say I am not ever going to be like, I actually like Jesus now. He got me to like him.
Because I don't agree at all.
It's not like getting me to like the ugly shoes, because this isn't his idea. This Jesus, this isn't the problem with it. The Jesus thing is not his idea. He's latching on to somebody's old, outdated ideas here, and this is my problem. If it was his idea, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, but I'd be excited to hear him out.
You'd almost be more into it if he started his own religion.
Yeah. Oh, yes, 100%. If Kanye started his own cult, like you know how people were like, I can't believe he would call himself Jesus. How would you take... No, that's what I want. So we're going to play you, let's start with the prayer.
Because I don't agree with anything that he's saying either, but it doesn't disgust me in the same way that it does to you, because I feel like I just enjoy watching his journey.
And I enjoy it as well, but I'm also utterly disgusted in the Jesus stuff. I'll say that right now.
It's fair.
Disgusted. And I'm curious as to when the album comes out, will I be able to even sing along to this?
I think you will. Because
it is so Gotti. Not John Gotti. The Lord. God. All right, let's play you the prayer. Is this it? The first link here, Jules? Because I can't see anything today.
Sorry.
My eyes have been gouged out.
Here, let me read the thing for you.
Yes, okay. Is it Kanye claims? Okay, no, we're not doing that. Don't read any of this. Chicago Clips, the prayer video.
Yes.
Here it is. The prayer. And this is from Twitter. Here we go. This is the prayer. And I hate prayers. I remember Jules' family did a prayer once. We all ate dinner with Jules' family, and they go, we're going to do a prayer. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were kidding. I honestly thought they were kidding. And at the end of the prayer, they did it before eating.
Yeah, that's what you do, man.
I couldn't believe it. And at the end of the prayer, I looked up, I go, so did it work? Thanks, guys. And everybody laughed, and we continued to eat our God-blessed chicken. You know, but I'm not going to get in a fight with the family over it, you know, because I, don't look to the family for inspiration.
So maybe that's why I'm able to understand Kanye, because I've been thinking about this topic for my entire life.
Exactly.
And for you,
I've been thinking about it very negatively. It's not new. I despise it. I despise the idea. I'm not here to preach to anybody, because these people are all nuts. They're not going to listen to me. But I despise it. All right, here is the prayer. And this is from the theater. Here we go.
Aligning everything to be at home in my city where I grew up in. To play the album for my hometown. Here. Lord God, this is the first prayer that has cheers in the middle of it.
Now, because everyone laughed, Kanye goes, oh, okay, then it's fine. But he actually said that, I think, as pissed. Oh, this is the first cheer that actually has prayers in it. He wanted to let people know, shut up. And he does it more. He yelled at people. I'm not kidding. Later on, he yelled at people. Go on.
Someone in the chat says Kanye is here on behalf of Johnny Seasons.
Johnny Seasons. Yeah, now, I like Johnny Seasons. I like a man of God who's doing it as a lie. I do. And that's what I thought Kanye was doing his whole life. I thought he was just confused because black people are all, confused into the Jesus stuff. And I thought that was something he would evolve completely out of. So I wasn't expecting him to go into that.
To me,
I thought he would grow out of it.
He's always been this way, and that's how he started. And then he kind of
I thought he was faking
it a little bit, and then now he's going back to his.
Yes.
He's trying to get back to his roots.
See, but I always thought he was faking it. Like every black person that's trying to gain respect from blacks, they do a little Jesus thing. They do a fuck the police thing, which he used to do. Fuck the police. That's how I treat them. It's like, no, you don't. You love the fucking cops. They put out your fires all the time in Calabasas. You don't say fuck the police. So I always thought he was kind of just pandering to blacks early on. Let's see here. Let's hear the prayer. Yes, everyone keeps saying, this is a phase. This is a phase. Keep telling yourself that. But I believe it too. Of course it's a phase. It's kooky Kanye.
He's never done anything his whole life without
I'm just
changing.
telling you what happened. I'm not saying what's going to happen or what's going to be for all time. I'm just telling you what's happening. Don't be disappointed. The album is actually very fire.
I know. I can't fucking wait
so
to
we
hear
just got to replace.
songs.
Somebody came up with a good thing, because Danny Woodward in the Bring Back group is also very miserable with the Jesus stuff too. He was the only one vocal about it. And I think he thought maybe I was getting into Jesus. So I think he was getting extra mad, because imagine if I came on here and I was like, I love Jesus now. Then you'd go, oh, so Mike just. But somebody said, just replace all the times he says God with Melton, in your head. And so maybe I could do that. you know.
I think that you're going to end up liking it, honestly.
Okay. Let's see. Let's finish up the prayer. Here it is.
Lord God, this is the first prayer that has cheers in the middle of it.
Cookie Kanye.
Please cover this album, cover the release of this album, cover our families.
God, please cover the release of this album. You know, come on. Why? And the album's not out. He forgot. He might not even release this. Knowing him, he'll go, I don't want to, you know, and just never do it.
Our friends, please bring more safety to our families, our friends, our city.
So there's a good shot of where he was standing also.
Yeah, you can see him right there, perched up. Hold on.
He was wearing a little vest.
Very nice vest. You could throw him right in the ocean, and he'll never die.
More prosperity, more joy, more love. You are love. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah, and then they all yelled amen, and I'm like, So then he starts going, I want to show you some video about my architecture. And we're like, okay. And then he starts showing this stuff that he's been doing. This is a sick man. It's very cool. He's very sick.
I did not process a second of the first documentary because I was just staring at the real Kanye off to the side, and I was entranced by looking at his every move, so I didn't hear anything of the doc.
Let me explain this. Kanye has a laptop, and the laptop is hooked up, video and audio, to the main speaker system and video system, and they're letting Kanye control it completely. Now, I don't know why, but Kanye literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, we're in this place and they have a pretty nice sound system. I was checking it out beforehand, and you could tell acoustically this place was built for sound. Kanye West forced the sound person, and I believe that he destroyed all their speakers. He forced them to turn it all the way up. I'm not kidding when I say all the way. I don't mean loud. I mean, as far as all systems, as all the knobs, as all the faders go, he wanted it all the way up to the point where the speakers, you could just see they were being destroyed. I mean, it just sounded terrible, and it was so loud. I mean, we had ringing in our ears till last night, for real. It was that loud, and it was so chaotically loud. And even when he was showing like the IMAX movie in this video that I'm going to talk about here in a second, it was so crazy loud. And I go, why is he doing that? I'm trying to figure out why he's doing this, because at first he kept going, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And everyone's like, no, turn it down, in fact. Now, is he doing that? Maybe he thinks that people can't record it if it's so loud and distorted, you can't get a good copy of it, maybe. And he's doing it, but I can't imagine that. I think he's just fucking insane. And it was we're watching this movie. He starts playing this movie, goes, this is something I'm doing with architecture. And we're like, what in God's name? And everything is so surreal at this point because we just were introduced to Kanye, and then he's making us watch a movie, and he's doing this thing where, like, he's looking at the crowd, and if you're not looking at the movie, he gets mad. Okay? So he's playing it from his laptop, but, you know, like, have you ever tried showing a movie that you've seen to somebody, and you're constantly looking at them to make sure they're paying attention and getting it? That's what he was doing, but to the whole crowd. So if you weren't sitting like this, he would scold you. And it was very fearful, but you couldn't hear a word that was really happening because it was so loud. And he starts showing what he's been working on. And I can't believe this. Remember, we showed you he was building those weird domes? He's also building keyholes. Giant keyholes. And I think you have some pictures from Harley Gannon.
Oh, yeah.
We have this listener, Harley. You've heard me mention him. Harley138. He's here in the chat. I believe his family owns some property. Kanye bought some property, some land, from one of our listeners named Harley. And in this video, Kanye starts showing these weird buildings that he's building. And Harley has actually been to them because they were built on his father's land or something like that.
It's incredible. That's the pics.
We've got some pics here. Am I able to show these here? Do I have clearance here?
He posted them in the Bring Back group. So
Where do I have them? Where are they coming to, Jules?
Oh, that's just go to the me chat.
Me chat. This one? Okay. I got nothing here.
Wait, what the fuck?
This one? We'll show you these. Harley has been on his land, and Kanye is building giant keyholes and domes. I think we have a picture from the Jesus. Send them on Facebook, Jules. This chat doesn't seem to be...
I'm sending them in the Yumi and Cameron chat.
Working. In Facebook or
no,
here?
No, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
That worked. Sorry, we got new phones, so it's all
new
messed
phones.
up.
All right, so here it is. And this is the cover of Jesus is King, this IMAX movie he's making. See this keyhole?
And yes, Kanye did not build this. This is from this guy named James Terrell, who has built this, and Kanye is shooting his documentary thing inside.
I thought Kanye commissioned him to build this.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Honestly, I could not pay attention to the documentary.
Well, where are the Harley pictures?
It's in the comments of that first one.
Okay. Here we go, and we'll show you this guy, Harley. He's been here. Here is the keyhole. Here's Harley. Look at that. That's him sitting in the keyhole. These are Kanye's keyholes that he's building all over the country.
I would kill to go in that
So
keyhole.
he's showing this, and it's getting very weird, and then he goes, then it ends, and then he goes, I'd like to play you the album. And we go, woo, woo, woo. And he goes, this first song is called blah, blah, blah. And then he presses play. And he lets it run for what, like 30 seconds? And then he stops it. Mm-hmm. And then what did he do? Why did he stop it?
And then he called all the people down from the balcony. And he said, everybody crowding close.
Everybody crowding close. So everybody comes in, and then he's playing it over and over again. He's doing a lot of starting and stopping. And he plays the songs, and a lot of the songs were great. I mean, really great. Like, I think musically you're going to love it. They're very short.
I was dancing.
They're very
I was partying,
short.
But yes, they did seem short.
The songs are all very short. They all seem like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Each.
I always have such a hard time trying to like process and remember everything. It's almost
I
like you
could
need to
remember it
go
all.
once.
No, I can hear it all.
Because I just feel so many emotions. I feel like my emotions take over my mind, and then the next day all I can remember is how I felt, because I was trying to remember the details of all the songs, and I can barely remember.
So it's a 10-album song. All the songs are about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, it seems like. Very few features. We heard Kenny G, clips. Kenny G, the saxophone. I'll show you the video clips. Of course, that's Pusha T and his little brother.
I remember the second song was like amazing. That's when I started crying.
There are
I was like,
jokes.
This is fucking perfect.
There are jokes. There are goofy lyrics. And there are those cringe lyrics. There's this one lyric, closed on Sunday. You're my Chick-fil-A.
Yes, that was amazing.
But it's all, every song is God. Every song is Jesus all the way through, not just one line. So, yeah, just imagine Jesus Walks, 10 songs of Jesus Walks, but even more Jesus-y with less anything to do with really Kanye himself almost. It's almost, this is the word of the Lord, here it is on some cool beats.
It's not personal. Like,
it's not personal.
Favorite Kanye albums are the personal ones.
And I was reading stuff like this where it's like, this is Kanye's most thoughtful album yet. I heard stuff like that. I disagree.
I don't know how all these people on Twitter who are giving their reviews, I don't know how you can even say that without having heard it recorded. Like, you just heard it over these loudspeakers.
I could hear it perfectly.
But how could you say, this is his most personal album? Like, you need to listen to it a few times?
But we were talking about first opinions. First, we're talking about what we heard and what we think it is. So, but every song, I mean, God, 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 and very similar to how a preacher would talk about God it's not about the preacher as much. It's about God, okay? And his tales and how you need to obey him. And if you don't obey him, you're fucking dead. And very, very creepy. And then he does his speech. So it was about 7 songs in, I think, and then he does his speech. He stops, and I believe there was an article written about it. But he starts getting a little upset, and people were cheering and yelling things while he was talking, and he was shouting at them to stop talking, listen. And he started going, I am not here. This is what pissed me off. People were cheering, and he was yelling at them to stop. And he goes, I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not an entertainer. I'm here to preach the Lord, or to preach the gospel. I'm here to show you God. I am not an artist making secular music anymore. I'm here to preach the gospel. I am a gospel artist. This is not entertainment. I call myself Yeezus. And he said something about how he regrets the Yeezus name and all that stuff. And how he hates it. So he's thrown away everything you liked about him. You were wrong. This is the new him. That's where I started getting upset. Because he was yelling at people.
You were very upset, I could tell.
Well, let's save it. He was yelling at people. I'm not here for your amusement. Stop cheering. This is a serious moment. This is gospel. As if we're at church and we're acting out. But I didn't sign up to go to church. So I was mad. And then that took away from the last two songs he played. I was sitting there like this. And then he makes us watch the IMAX video, which was 37 minutes long. And the IMAX video that he shot is, very bizarre. And especially if now you're mad, it sucks. Because it was just, there was like a deer, like 2 minutes of just a deer hopping through the forest.
I thought that part was
Of course,
cool.
it's
it was
all
shot
cool.
Really cool.
It's all cool if you just weren't mad that he's telling you to shut up and that you need to support God and get on your knees and worship Satan or God.
But don't you see how it's like this is a crazy part of his life, and you're witnessing.
Of
even
course,
if
I'm
you're
just telling you what happened.
Yeah,
yes,
but if even if it's making you angry, what he's saying, it's cool to be there for something that gets such an emotional reaction out of you.
Yeah,
because that
exactly. I just wish it was not going back to 1452.
But we would never be thinking about all this stuff and talking about it so much if, anyways. So this you know what I mean.
But yeah, it was a bad. Wow, that makes you think for me. And this was the first time that's really ever happened to me. So again, when I go back and I say, this is how all those Kanye fans must have felt when he's supporting Trump and doing all that stuff. They feel this betrayal that they will not ever connect to, with the Trump people, like those woke people who listen to Kanye, they're never going to get on board with Trump no matter what Kanye says. And that's kind of how I feel now, where I'm never going to get on board with the Jesus stuff, no matter what Kanye says. So you get mad because you go, what? Well, then do I have to sit this out? But now I'm in a different space. I was mad that night, but now I'm in a different space. I am excited to rehear the album again, but he was mean. I thought he was mean at that event. And then after the last song, it was pretty nice. He made everybody sing along. We'll play you a video of that last song. Here's the video that the heads took. Remember, they ripped their phone out of the pouch.
Yes.
And here it is. We're featured in this video. Here's the last song. Wow. That's Kenny G, by the way. Oh, there's us. Look.
Oh my God.
So people were making jokes. What is this, Kenny G? Yeah, in fact, it is.
It is Kenny
Renee
G.
D'Ambrosio was making a joke. Huh, sounds like Kenny G. Our oldest listener, 75 years old, listening to the show. It is Kenny G. And this is the song with clips on it.
Yeah.
By the way.
It was amazing.
Here we go. But then he makes everyone do the thing. And I wouldn't do it.
I did it.
She did it. I wouldn't do it.
I was in heaven, to be honest.
This is where I was mad. He was also going around pinching people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music is very good.
It's been stuck in my head. I need to hear the real version.
That is not me singing, don't worry. Listen at the end.
One more time, go!
So there's a security guard now yelling at the guy.
Yeah, I love you.
See, I still get goosebumps.
So,
We know. Okay, so there it was, and you could hear the security guy go, "Put that phone away!" He was mad. He was yelling at the guy next to him.
Yes.
"Put that phone away now. So there it was. And then during the IMAX movie, Kanye just got out of there. He never said goodbye or thank you or anything.
I
at
guess
the end of
he
the
went
night.
to the Chance concert.
Yeah, he went to the Chance the Rapper concert and proceeded to hop around there. They did throw out some sweatshirts, everybody. This was weird. You know, they were throwing out merch for free to people there. And there'd be a guy, you know, 300 people away, there's a guy throwing out merch, but there'd be people behind us, 200 behind us, here, over here. It's like, even if he had the best arm, it's not going to make it to you. What are you doing? These are adults screaming, please, please, for that merch, sit out here. You're 700 people away from the guy throwing the merch. It's not going to make it to you. It's a sweatshirt. It can't even... You couldn't throw it that far with a T-shirt cannon.
People go nuts over
They
a
go
T-shirt
nuts. I was sitting there like this. I'll buy the merch myself. So there it was. That's our story of the Kanye night, and the album is not released. The album is musically, I loved it. I loved every...
Same. The production was incredible. All the songs, I was dancing.
All the songs would be great if they had cool lyrics. There it is. The lyrics sounded... well, there was some cool stuff. There was some cool rapping.
Yeah,
Kanye
did
raps.
Like some verses.
Nothing long. There's nothing long though. Everything is very short.
It's
very Ye-like, where everything is pretty short.
But that's why it seems
like the
album's not going to come out for a couple weeks for some reason, because it almost seems like he is still changing things.
He don't know. I'm telling you,
I don't know.
This guy, and it's great that he's like this. Listen, we want people like this. He's sick. He's really messed up. Like, he's a sick man. When you get to see it in his face, because you see the rant. I loved every rant that he's ever done. I love when he gets in trouble. When you see it there, when you're actually there, and he's yelling at people to stop and all that stuff, you go, whew, yikes.
That's what I was saying
guy
before.
Is really
when you're
crazy.
Seeing him in person doing this, it becomes way more real. It's not a show. It's
exactly.
not a guy you're watching on TV anymore. It's like a real
because
crazy
especially
guy
you're
who's right
having
in front
this
of you.
really fun time, and then you could see that there's this guy telling you to stop. And, you know, I don't like getting yelled at. So it was, the album's going to be cool. There's no radio play. Everyone's going to call him insane. Unless you love Jesus. He's really lost his mind. It was the best. It was so fun, though. How fun was that, huh?
A once-in-a-lifetime experience. I literally have not been able to stop thinking about it since we were there. I can't let anything enter my mind except Kanye.
He's a very sick man.
And
Kim,
so
and this is
lucky that we
Kim,
got
by
to
the
go.
way. This is Kim. Kanye is making me go to Detroit. You know, Kim is sickened by people in Detroit. All right, that was it. Should we get in the light news there? That was our big Kanye
story. I hope you guys like the story, though.
Story time.